Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap. I'm here with lacrosse coach Jack Smith. Jack, a little bit about last year. You guys were 11-9, but you start off with 3 straight wins.
Yep.
And had a little bit of a bump there, and you played some pretty good teams, though.
Yeah, we had a pretty tough schedule near the middle of the year. But for the most part, I think last year was a great success. You know, obviously being co-champs in the MAC Red, getting our first regional title. So there was a lot of major pluses. But for the most part, yeah, there were some stretches where we were on some hot streaks and some cold streaks. So looking towards this year, you know, the schedule wise, we have a lot of really good opponents on the docket. So excited to be challenged and meet the standard.
Yeah, you know, and a couple of those losses were 1 point.
Yep.
And a couple were a lot of points, but a couple of losses were just by 1 point, and they could have made a 13-9 season. But last year's team went some stretches without being able to score much.
Yep.
So I guess as we kind of go and dovetail into this year's team, will you be able to remedy that?
Yeah, I think a lot of the focus that we spent in the offseason was team offense. We hit the whiteboard really hard this offseason and talked through a lot of systems and where to be, where you should be. Our guys, I think in the past, struggled playing in the gray. So when things weren't going the exact way we want the offense to run, there was a lot of freezing and maybe a lot of individual play. So my main focus as a coach from the minute the whistle blew in May up until now was, can these guys build a lacrosse IQ so they know how to play when things aren't going part of the plan? Obviously, we spent a lot of time last year. We had some really good offensive players, but we want to play less individually and more as a whole. Like, to compete with the top 10 to 15 teams in Michigan, you have to play team lacrosse.
I mean, you had a tremendous individual player,
Yeah.
Mike Lacrosse, who at times just put the team on his back and carried it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me really maybe not a Mike Lacrosse this year, but maybe a stronger team effort.
Yeah. I mean, from a statistics standpoint, like, you want to be able to have producers and you want people to show up and play great. But I think it's almost more important to have 6 people playing rather than 5 guys watch one person play. Mike's obviously a great player. He's a true Romeo lacrosse player. But we want to be able to compete at that next level. And I think a lot of teams are looking at us like, you graduate Mike Lacrosse, where is the offense going to be produced? Obviously, we return, a couple guys who can score. But for the most part, if we want to be successful, it's got to be from an entire 6 people on the offense, like playing in the same rhythm.
And now, how many years have you been coaching lacrosse?
It's a great question. So I just thought about this the other day.
I got to lie about your age. Right?
I started coaching lacrosse when I was 19 years old. So I'm now 27. So we're getting up to the 10-year mark. But I started coaching lacrosse like as soon as I graduated high school.
And I don't know, where do you get your passion for the game?
I think it started. I grew up playing a ton of Madden, and in Madden there's like a franchise mode, and I loved taking a team that was winless and creating them into a dynasty. And I got into the college ranks fairly young coaching, and started recruiting and building a roster. And I wasn't a very competitive person growing up. I was the lackadaisical, have a good time, funny guy. And as I got older, the more I'm like, I'm going to invest in something. I want it to be great. And from a coaching perspective too, like, I love people. I love helping people. And even my career, it's about helping transition high schoolers to college. So I want to be able to, be somebody that they can rely on and help, bring them along into their journey of being like adults. So coaching is like the best of both worlds. You get to compete, you get to see, kids grow into adults and really, become better versions of themselves. So that's where it's like kind of like a blend of so many different things that got me into coaching.
So is it true that kids that start the year as sophomores and the year as juniors kind of level, if they stick at it and they're playing, and same with juniors, they and seniors, you don't know what you're going to get. Funkadelic, as they change, they get girlfriends or get a new job or something, and they're not in there anymore. Who are you going to count on as leaders this year?
I mean, we return 2 captains this year. Jackson Rice is a big person for us. He's going to staple our defense. He was kind of the third guy in the rotation last year, and I'm expecting some great things from him from a leadership standpoint. Braden Walls comes back as an all-county goalie. He was a steady ship for us last year, and I think he's just someone that you can rely on when the heat gets turned up. Joe Zyrek is another person who's going to be coming back. He's one of our leading goal scorers last year. He suffered some injuries at some tough points, but he's worked really hard to become someone like more of a better teammate. And we had the conversation a lot this offseason. Like, we cannot watch just Joe Zyrek play lacrosse. Like, we need 5 other guys involved, and he's done such an awesome job, especially in this offseason, like taking on a huge burden and helping guys along the way. I mean, Brody Giacona and Noah Sarich are both other captains for us. They're great defensemen, very smart, can stretch the field. So, but from like a leadership standpoint, like this group, it's been so awesome to see them grow with the program. I mean, Jackson Rice and Braden Walls both started their freshman year. They didn't play lacrosse before high school, kind of took a flyer on the program and took the opportunity and just ran with it and trusted me as a coach, and just see them kind of like nurture and help grow the program has been awesome as well.
Well, now you said that you're going to be the style is going to be more of a team, almost like, they used to accuse the Germans of playing soccer. Just don't give up the ball.
Yeah.
But is this team faster than last year's, or are they about the same? Or
I think like our team mantra is together. Like, we want to play together. We want to be together. We want to like suffer the pain together and rise to the occasion together. But from like a system standpoint, we're always going to run and gun offense. Like, we're going to go fast. We call it NASCAR offense for a reason. Fighting between the 40s. Like, we want to play fast. Like, we have long sticks that can get up and down the field. I'm sure you'll watch some games this year where long sticks are scoring goals. And, our Marcello, our face-up guy, really took a lot of time focusing on like building the stick work and
he was pretty good last year.
Yeah.
There was some games he didn't lose. He's just such a I want to call him like a Wolverine in there.
Yeah.
He is vicious in that circle to get that ball.
We played Country Day, and so they have an indoor field house, and he drew a long stick matchup, and the long stick was going to Notre Dame. He's one of the best defensemen in the state, and Marcello, he won every faceoff to himself, and the beating that kid took, and the fact that the whistle blows and we get scored on or we score on them and he goes right back to the faceoff X is like, you look at him and he was a sophomore last year and he's gonna be a junior this year. It's unfortunate we're not gonna have him for the first game of the season this year. He's kind of coming off an injury, but he's someone that worked really, really hard in the offseason, and we're super excited to kind of roll him out this spring.
That'll be good. And you talked about Braden in goal, and he made some key stops on us here. And I'm going to tell you something. I was walking on the side. You guys were warming up, and I'm walking on the track, and one of them balls came out there and hit me in the ankle.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
I almost went down. But, and I'm thinking of him being in there, and they're really throwing it at him. He's got no fear.
Well, convincing kids to play goalie is extremely difficult. And the one thing I've come to find out, because you have to sell it to the players, and especially in the youth level, you're trying to convince a third grader to stop a 100% rubber ball that's going 70 to 80 miles an hour. I'm like, they're not trying to hit you. They're trying to score around you. So, there's always a time, goalies are going to take one off the thighs. Yeah. Other places you don't want to take a lacrosse shot. But yeah, they're warriors, man. That's a sport. That's a position I never want to play, but it's a lot of hats off.
Well, it's not like the NHL goalies. They're like Michelin men, and
they're like sumo wrestlers.
All the padding they got, they're like you can't hurt those guys.
Yeah,
yeah. How about let's talk a little bit about the schedule coming up
for sure.
got a couple scrimmages at home, and then you're out on the road, and then you come back. Who you got coming in here?
So the Saturday before the regular season starts, we're going out to East Grand Rapids to play East Grand Rapids, Rockford, and Hazlitt, and then we're going to bring East China or St. Clair down to us it's the following day. And then Wednesday we start the season off at Heartland. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the state every year. They won the state championship in 2022. Coach Levante's a good buddy of mine. They run a great program there. So excited to have them back on the schedule, and then get back from spring break, which is like really early in the season this year, and we play 3 MAC teams, and then we're just kind of from there we're just kind of heels in, ready to go for the rest of the season. So
And you got last year you beat up on Eisenhower pretty good.
Yep.
You think they got this one circled on their calendar?
Absolutely, yeah. We're the starting goalkeeper. You know, I've known him for quite a while, and he's gonna go play some big time lacrosse. And I've heard some very choice words over the past couple seasons. I know them and Dakota are definitely kind of it's double circled. Graham Blake's gonna give us a really tough game. You know, their coach is a great guy, and I think that they're gonna have a really solid team. Then you got your Oakland County teams, Clarkson and Lake Orion. You know,
they're not easy.
Yeah, we actually have Clarkson in a region this year, so there's likelihood we're going to play them twice. And then we actually have, we play Hazlitt at LTU this year, which is going to be super exciting to see these guys play in a college venue. And then we play Catholic Central as well, who's, been of the 12 state championships in the last 12 years, they've been to like 10 or 9. So,
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm more just excited for the opportunity. Like, these guys have worked so hard, since the whistle blew in May.
No, Jack.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You got to beat teams 15-0.
Yeah,
that's the way you do it.
Yeah,
that's the old,
run the score up and get the
run the
clock going.
score up, and then maybe in the States you'll go somewhere.
Yeah, it's very true.
But no, you play the better competition. You play the better your team's going to be.
Absolutely.
What really excites you about this team?
I just think
because I could tell you're a little bit excited, but you're reserved on it. But,
for sure.
But what really excites you about this team and their potential?
They're just a great group of guys. I mean, they're so open to learning, and they're so open to competing. So, I mean, just the chance to compete with them and the opportunity to compete and just like see what this team could do. Like, you last year we talked in May. I'm like, if you talk to me in March, like, it's like next 48 hours I'm not going to be able to sleep before season starts. I'm so excited, so pumped up. And but they're a great group of guys. They're extremely respectful, they're extremely coachable, they're receptive to everything. And I just think the charisma and like the way they get along with each other, like it's like an actual like family togetherness, and that's what I've wanted for so long. And now I'm just excited for us to be able to go to war together and compete.
Well, we'll be showing some of those wars here on the Mitt TV. Hopefully we can cover lots of games, and the folks out there can tune into the Mitt TV and see these fine athletes of the lacrosse team.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, we're going to talk to a couple of them right now.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
We'll be right back after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
So we have a couple of Romeo lacrosse players, and this is Joey Zyrick and Brody Giancana. Brody, you're junior, senior, sophomore.
Sophomore.
You're a sophomore, but you're bigger than he is.
Yep.
And he's a junior, right? Right, Joe? So Coach said that you were a little bit banged up last year. I mean, you scored a few goals. What was the matter with you? I mean, I know they're whacking you out there, but what happened?
It was like a lower back strain. So just from playing all those games and stuff, just really got tired out.
So you wore yourself down.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I played through it for a few games, but at a certain point, it was just too much.
Yeah, I used to be a baseball player way back in the 70s. Richie Allen. He didn't really like to practice too much. He goes, the body's like a bar of soap. If you use it too much, you wear it out. You wear it down. So maybe that's what happened to you. I don't know. Coach didn't want me to say that because he wants you to practice every day. And Brody, your brother was on the team last year.
Yep, Dominic.
Now, you talk about a guy that's not afraid to whack somebody.
Yes, he is very whacking.
Now, does that carry over to the home life? I mean, does he take his lacrosse stick and go, you might get one here?
Yeah, sometimes it beats me up a little bit, but I got used to it. I've gotten used to it.
Are you taller than him yet?
He says we're the same height, but I'm taller.
Yeah.
So
he can punch down.
Yeah.
Okay. And what got you involved in lacrosse, Brody?
Pretty much my brother. My brother played when he was in like 4th grade or something, and I didn't really like baseball that much, and there's no other really like a lot of spring sports like to play at that time, so I just picked up lacrosse and I've played it ever since.
You feel comfortable with it? And,
yeah, it's really fun.
I mean, you're back there, hacking and whacking too.
Yep.
But do you like that? You like when you get somebody really good and you can hear them go, ow?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a penalty, which kind of sucks, but
well,
yeah.
Take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah.
And Joey, what's your secret to being able to put the biscuit in the basket, as everybody teases me for saying in hockey?
Well, I like to think I'm faster than most people.
You are fast. You're pretty fast.
Yeah, thanks. But no, this year I've really tried to like increase like my precision with my shot. So when we run a team offense, I'm just not really like forcing things, And,
Now, do you do one of those skip shots once in a while?
Yeah,
I've seen
those tend to go pretty often. Yeah,
those are pretty hard for goalie. I mean, it's like a cricket bounce, where you're whacking in there and whipping it at them. When you have the ball and you're about 30 feet away, or let's say 20 yards away, and but you see an opening. Do you fire the long one once in a while, or?
I feel like I did a little too often last year, so definitely gonna try to work in the team a lot more.
What do you think about Coach's philosophy here? We're gonna pass it around a bit.
No, I love that. That's the way to win.
To try to find the open guy all the time. Yeah. And what about your goaltender? What do you want to say something about him, since you're defending him?
I mean, it's probably one of the toughest positions in lacrosse, and I give him credit, and he's good what he does. So
you try to make sure nobody gets a clean shot, right?
Yeah.
What's a technique you use if, say, somebody's coming around the net and they got the ball and you have to stop them? What kind of techniques do you use?
I mean, I feel like it depends on the situation. I mean, like if he's that close, I guess just lay him out and just hopefully the ball comes out and no penalties. So
now that's a big deal. Try to get the ball out of their stick, and let it on the ground. Have you been whacked really hard? Other than your brother, who have you been whacked really hard by? Who's a hard-hitting team?
I don't know. Probably like just like the high, like Lake Orion, Port Huron. Like those are always pretty good teams. So with good defensemen. So
it's two ends of the thumb here.
Yeah.
How about you, Joey? Who got you pretty good last year? What teams? You don't have to name a name because we'll go after them later.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but I'm gonna have to say Country Day. They put a really good.
Do they teach that, do you think?
Oh, definitely. I mean, their polls are really precise with their checks and just beat you down until you really don't got much left in you.
What do you look forward to this season? What game? Is there a game that you look forward to, or just
for sure. Grosse Pointe South. That's a game I couldn't play because of my back. It was once I got out in the first quarter, and the rest of the team just really stepped up, and it was a really good game. I think we lost by only a few goals. And them and Dakota for sure. I know Dakota's coming for blood after we beat them last year. So
yeah, and Eisenhower will try too. I'm sure
they'll try.
But and then you do play Lake Orion?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. What do you think about also going up there to playing like Hartford and some of these teams that Coach has got you going up against? Because I'm scared.
I mean, it's a big step, but it's better than playing those teams than playing teams that you're going to blow out 20-0. Like, you're not going to get better from doing that. So I like playing against these bigger teams, better teams, and I think it's just better for the program in general.
It's a strategy, Brody, when you're playing defense. I mean, positioning yourself. How do you position yourself between the ball and the goal, or how does you don't want to screen your own guy?
I mean, yeah, you have a 6-foot stick for a reason. So most of the time you have to keep it in front of the guy, especially if he has the ball. And it's just kind of just like it's like kind of like basketball where it's just like you got to stay in front of him and can't let him get past you.
Joey, what would you say is probably the best part of your game, and what part do you think you probably have to work on?
Creating separation, like off the dodge, trying to score, I probably would say is my best. And then something I could really improve on would be like creating opportunities and just seeing, like reading the defense, seeing like where the open guy is and how to make the play the right way.
So when you guys aren't playing lacrosse, what kind of interests do you have? I mean, are you girls, cars?
Nope,
No?
nothing.
You don't have an interest besides lacrosse?
I
You're
mean-
thinking lacrosse all the time, or you go to bed with
I
your
mean,
lacrosse
yeah.
stick?
Recently, yeah. I mean, like recently, it's just all about lacrosse right now. I'm
Watching film?
yeah, exactly. Excited
No,
for the
yeah.
season, all that.
Same.
What do you pick up off of film? I mean, do you really pick up a lot?
Yeah, for sure.
How does it help
Yeah.
you?
You just I think you just point out like miscommunications, like where people should have been in a certain situation. I feel like that's where what I mostly point out, especially for defense. So yeah.
So you can see yourself if you're out of position or
Yeah.
not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and are you guys excited to be on the Mitt TV again this year, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. No girlfriends?
No.
Cross sticks only.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk to a couple more of the Romeo lacrosse team members right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap, and I'm here with a couple other Romeo lacrosse players, Braden Walls, and Jackson Rice.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, senior?
I'm a senior, yeah.
Both seniors.
Both seniors.
And you're a senior.
Yep.
And what do you expect from your senior season here?
I got high hopes for this year. I know we got a lot of young guys, especially on the offensive side, but I think especially in this offseason, we've worked really hard and we've developed a lot of skill, and I think that we could accomplish great things. We got a lot of good team chemistry. I think we can work together and do some good things this year.
Yeah, because that's the plan Coach wants, and
Mm-hmm.
you're a special case because you're the goalie.
Yes.
And you get you get to touch the ball, or the ball touches you a lot, and you got to be alert there, or otherwise you're going to get your block knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever possessed you to want to be in the goal?
It took a lot to get me in there, but when I came into the JV season without a goalie, I stepped up and just took the position and tried it out, and I just stuck with it. It all came to me.
I can remember last year when we covered some of your games, and I don't know, how the heck did you stop these things? I mean, do you see it coming when it's going that fast?
You see the stick. A lot of times you see the ball, but when you first start off in the position, it's hard to see the ball.
I mean, can you you have quick hands, do you think, when you do other things? I mean, do you grab stuff real quick or something falls?
Oh,
and
yeah.
You can pick it
A
up?
lot of reflex drills
Yeah.
are done at practice with
What kind of reflex drills? What do they make
Well,
you do?
there's a lot of juggling.
Juggling?
That helps with my hands.
You can
getting them
juggle?
in positions, yes.
Like 3 balls?
Yeah.
I can do 2. but that's the best I can do. So juggling is one thing. What
Yes.
else? What else you do?
Well, there's a lot of just like dropping the ball and then like going under it and catching it, and there's just like timing.
So almost like a pop-up or
Yeah.
yeah. But what gets you your eyes used to the speed of the ball?
Really just doing the motions over and over again. Just getting shots is probably one of the best things for a goalie to do better.
Does Joey shoot at you in practice
Oh yeah,
as hard as he can?
yeah.
Oh, so he doesn't let up, even though
No,
you're the goal.
he stands his ground.
Yeah, okay. What's his shot like to
Oh, they're
stop?
hard. He positions them very well.
I'll make sure I'm
Yeah.
way up in the booth, when he's shooting us. That ball is hard, man.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It's pretty tough. I want to ask you the same question, Jackson, about your defensive positioning that I asked Brody. How do you approach that from a defensive end?
Um, I like to think of defense as like everyone's working together. So obviously we play man-to-man defense, and it's me and my man out there, and I like to obviously I try to take the ball away as much as possible, but it's all like from my standpoint, it's all about communication and seeing the field where my defender is going to probably move and trying to keep him away from being like above the net and taking away his best like shot.
And how successful are you at getting them to relinquish the ball?
Somewhat. I mean, I do all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got a little bit of speed for a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, once you take it from him and you pick it up, you're going pretty good down that field.
Yeah.
I mean, watched a couple games last year where you did come up with the ball and shot out there like a rabbit in a race course. And you like that? I mean, is that when you got the ball and you take it away and then you are running up what's going through your mind when you're running up the field?
When I have an opportunity to take the ball down the field myself, I'm usually pretty excited. I like to run the ball on the field and work it into the offense a little bit. Sometimes I'll run all the way down there. Usually it doesn't end up happening because like it's tough to get a defenseman over the field. You got to do a lot of transition stuff. But if I see the opportunity, I get to pick the ball up and run it down there. I mean, usually the first thing I'm thinking is, am I going to get a shot here or something? Because of course I want to score a goal, but
yeah. I mean, how would you rate your passing skills? Because on defense, moving it forward or getting it out there, when you see somebody, are you pretty accurate with your passing skills?
I'd say for the most part, I'm pretty good. We got some pretty good stick skills on our defensive side, yeah.
And you're making a save. You have the ball.
Yes.
What are you looking for downfield? Is there a set outlet play, or are you looking for a guy cutting up or out?
Yeah, mainly I'm just looking for them. My deep pulls, they're usually down there, and what Jackson was saying is we'll run it up the field or look for an outlet pass or someone to get on the other side of the field so he can run it down to pass it off. But I'm mainly just looking for them for the most part.
Now, do you watch like college lacrosse, or some of those games? Did you ever go to any of them?
I watch it a little bit here and there.
You ever pick anything up from that, or?
I like to watch their clears and how they what they do after shots, where do they look, everything like that, when to come out of the crease, all of that stuff.
So you still have the passion for the game, right?
Yes.
How old were you when that sort of got you?
When I first liked it?
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Did you get hit in the head a couple times, and then I like this.
Just about, probably.
Yeah.
Talking how
About 9 years old? 9 years old, do you think you liked it? What did you say?
Oh, I picked it up in my freshman year. That's when I was first introduced. I've never played it ever before then, so.
Oh, well then this year will be the culmination of all those years of experience. That'll be great.
Yes.
I mean, hopefully, do you have any advantages yourself that you could say when you're out there? Is there an advantage that maybe you?
I would say advantage is like my speed, I guess, because usually goalies are bigger and I'm kind of a smaller goalie, so I would have the speed to when the shot goes behind cage and first one or whoever's closest, I'm good at running out there and getting it, so my speed, I would say, is a good advantage.
So that and juggling the balls
yes.
make you fast, right? And Jackson, you're going to be in your senior year. I mean, who are you looking to on the team maybe to also be stepping it up this year? Besides Joey, we don't know Joey's going to be there, but is there somebody that you think is going to surprise you this year?
I don't know about surprise. I mean, on the defensive side, I'm the oldest defenseman, but Brody's a sophomore. I'm looking at him. I think he's he's going to do a great job, obviously this year, but also when I'm gone too. And Noah, he's not here today, but he's going to do a great job this year
Noah
too.
Sarge?
Yeah. And we got a lot of younger guys on the offensive side that I'm looking at right now, and I think that we had a lot of potential. Landon Dolan, I'm looking at him. He's a sophomore as well, but
Yeah,
I think
he played a little bit last year. Was just showed a little bit of spark there last year. Like he may have some potential.
yeah. He's small, but he is quick, and he knows lacrosse very well, so it's definitely helpful.
That was my problem in football. I was small, but I was slow. So I got kicked out. You played football this year, right?
I did play football.
You didn't play though, right, Brady?
Just lacrosse.
Just lacrosse. So, any comments about your football buddies that aren't coming out now, or?
Some of the football guys are showing, like some of the football guys, Anthony Marisi, he's playing lacrosse this year, and Isaiah Lazarus, he's also joining the team this year, and
Good.
it's exciting because I've played football with those guys most of my life. Brody played offensive line with me this year too, which is also exciting. I think there's a lot of football guys now that are starting to get into lacrosse because it's it's a growing sport, and
It'll keep you in shape,
for sure.
and you get used to getting hit.
Yep.
Which is hey, you get hit in football or hockey or any of those sports, and if you can't take it, in lacrosse you're almost like bear out there.
Yeah.
What guys say? What about your face-off guy,
Marcello?
Now this guy, I mean, he's unbelievable. So sometimes he gets mad if somebody beats him.
He does. He's very feisty.
I thought we were going to turn a couple of those into a wrestling match. I was going to call Jim Callie to come over here, and
Yeah, he actually was a former wrestler, but he's very feisty. There's many times where I've heard Jack just yelling at him, "Get off the field, the face-off's over." Like,
he's biting a guy in the ankle.
Oh, he's biting the guy in the ankle. He's just whacking a guy with his stick. He might just be a face-off guy, but he likes to stay on the field as much as possible.
We love it. He's one feisty.
He's determined.
He's the feisty face-off guy.
Yep.
So what do you guys like to do when you're not doing lacrosse? I mean, you don't sleep with your stick like Brody, but what else?
I hang out with my friends. I mean, us lacrosse guys this off season I think like one of the most things I do in my free time this off season is the lacrosse team. We just, hey, you guys want to go to the field, or hey, you guys want to just hang out? Like we've been working on team chemistry a lot, and I mean, I know I said we have a lot of younger guys, but I mean, even me as a senior, I mean, we have hangouts with just sophomores, just growing our team chemistry.
Just to keep the team's chemistry
For sure.
building. And what do you like doing, Braden?
Along with what Jackson said, with the team, hanging out with them, building a good bond.
What, you don't play chess? You look like you'd be a good chess player.
You do not want to play me in chess. I'll quit in 2 minutes.
Well, we'll have quite a challenge because I'm not that good. But anything else?
I work a lot.
Where do you work?
My family owns K-Block's Barbecue.
Okay. So I know your mom,
yes.
Yeah, and we've had her on a few times, and it's really good.
Matter
of fact, are they open today?
They are open today.
I think I might have to pop by and get myself some barbecue. That sounds like a good thing. And so you just hang out with the guys and
Yeah.
play lacrosse and practice and tell the girls to stay away till after the season, right?
Yeah. Getting in the way.
I know you're fighting them off. Couple good-looking guys like that. Well, fellas, hey, thanks for coming on the show. And I really look forward to the season and the change in the way you guys are going to play and seeing how you guys all developed as seniors. This is going to be really interesting on the Mitt TV, right?
Yes, it will.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And that's it for the Mitt TV. I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'm Tim Meyer. Until next time, so long, everyone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.